I must start with a caveat. I'm a firm believer in the fact that there is no such thing as marketing analytics. And I'm not saying this to be controversial, or I'm not saying this to be, in any form incendiary. The only reason I'm saying this is because I believe analytics is analytics. It's what you do with numbers, in some form to make money, right? To drive it towards a business output, rather than focusing it on just a verticalized output, which is on marketing. The moment somebody talks to me about marketing analytics and credit analytics, it seems to sort of take away the flavor away from what analytics is really about. It's about the fact that you are trying to get a business output using some numbers and a methodology and a process that you're putting in between. So everything that I'm going to talk about is going to be on analytics. It's not necessarily going to be only on the marketing domain. It's going to be on the zone of what we can do with analytics. But the only thing that I'll give you as an assurance is if you do analytics right, you'll get your marketing right as well. What I've chosen to do is not to go the way of talking about big data and software as a service and all of that stuff, which I'm sure you guys can do enough of reading on the net to get a sense of. And to my mind, that doesn't even represent the future of what analytics is leading to as far as India is concerned. So basically what I've tried to do is to dimension this on 4 fronts, and to talk about the progression that I think will happen on any of these fronts, coming from the experiences that I have had in my earlier organization and from the exposure that I've had in my current organization. So I'm going to basically talk about these 4 areas. And to my mind, I think everything that I'm saying here is central to what analytics is about. Infrastructure completeness. What do I mean when I say infrastructure completeness? You will have a certain environment that you're using to put your analytics in place. Basically, what I believe or what will be the progression on that front is what I will talk about in this head. Completeness of approach. Talking about it rather fully in terms of the overall approach from the customer lifecycle management, looking at analytics as an entirety rather than looking at it in parts. Leading on to the earlier point that I made, saying there's no marketing analytics and risk analytics, there's just analytics, and you'll have to look at the completeness of approach and what's the progression there. Latency, and lots of speakers talked about latency in the passing when they mentioned the work that they had done. But a good part of what is happening to analytics and what can happen to analytics is in the region of reducing latency and thereby increasing if I can put it that way, the predictability of outcome. And I will talk about this a little more when we actually get to the slide that describes this. And the last part is what I choose to call the complexity spectrum, which is basically going from the simple to the more complex, and what is a progression that I believe India will make here. And I'm going to caveat this with a couple of thoughts. None of what I'm saying should be taken as something that will be an absolute. India, if we all choose to think that India is just one segment, that's not reality either. So there are some people in India who are doing different work on analytics. There are some people who are doing, who are in earlier stages of progression as far as analytics is concerned. So what I am talking about possibly is going to be the mass of where I perceive India to be and where it will head to. So there may be an outlier who may already be doing some part of the stuff that we are talking about. There may be some outlier who may be doing some rocket science with the data. But broadly, to my mind, this is a progression in entirety that we should head to.